Hi, everyone.
Hey, Darren here.
Welcome to the White Hatter YouTube news show.
I made my own Starbucks vanilla latte, sugar-free, in a recyclable cup.
Cool.
Yeah, you know what? Because of what was going on with COVID, we just decided to get a bean grinder, and it's really good.
Good.
It's really good, yeah. It's actually cheaper making it this way than actually go to the Starbucks and buying it, right? So,
that
anyways,
makes sense.
it's pretty good. Pretty good.
Let's get into some updates.
Let's get into it.
First update, on our channel last week, we published our Thinkable Thursday expert interview with Mike Russel.
Great guy, great picture, eh? You should see his beard in the video now, right? He's got the COVID beard going on. It's about twice the length of there, but very well groomed. But just a really good interview. Mike is the Director of Communications with the Cowichan Valley School District. So he looks after all communications, including social media. And we talk about how he is now using it within his district, how he came to his position, because one of the cool things, he's fairly high in the organization as a director, but he's got no master's or PhD, right? It just goes to prove to you that if you have a passion, and Mike has a passion for community, you can attain really good things, right? So just a really good interview.
Yes.
And he's an ex-cop too.
Yes, you talk about his career path.
His path is like this, right, to get where he is. But a really good interview, so check it out on our YouTube channel, right? And when you're there, don't forget to
subscribe.
Hit the subscribe button, right?
Also, this week we have our Parents and Caregivers Filtering Monitoring Tools and Overview webinar.
Free.
Yeah,
and you're hosting that one, right?
Yeah, it's one of our free webinars that we are hosting.
Yep.
Hopefully we get a lot of people join us, and there will be Q&A afterwards.
Yeah,
so
I think it's going to be pretty cool.
We'll get a lot of good engagement there.
Yeah.
And then later this week, we have our premium webinars, which is how teens can leverage the internet and social media to create post-secondary and employment opportunities.
Yeah, I'm going to be hosting that one. And we're going to give two really good examples where teens using some of the techniques we taught in that presentation earn scholarships, which is kind of cool. It's premium, which means this is it's $5.95, right?
$5.95 Canadian.
Which means it's like $1 American. Anyways, but it's we wanted to keep the pricing down so that people would sign up, and as a company we still have to make some money to make sure that we can do the free stuff, the amount of free stuff that we're putting out there, and this is just one of the ways we're doing that, right, through the White Hatter Studio, which is kind of cool.
Let's get into some news stories.
Oh, how can they sign up?
The sign up is on our website, thewhitehatter.ca, and there will be some links in the description here on YouTube that will take you straight to those particular webinars.
Sign up. Trust me, your kids are going to love it. They really will. So,
let's get into some news stories.
In the news.
First story we're going to talk about has to do with some phishing manipulation messages going around on social media. These are pretty classic ones. We've seen an uptick in these being used, and essentially they're used to make people log into fake websites.
We had a huge messaging coming from the teens this week on Instagram saying, hey, Darren, we've been hit with this. What's going on? I can't get back into my account. All my friends are getting the message. And so we just wanted to make sure it's not really new, but it's old, but it is new. It uses the pretext when somebody says, hey, check out what I did with your pictures, that it triggers that humanistic, what's going on with my pictures, right? People, and that's what these guys are hoping you're going to do. And as soon as you click on it, boom, they steal your password, and then they're sending this message to everybody and your friend, in Instagram as well. So just be aware of it. If you see it, block, delete, don't click.
Simple as that.
Pretty simple.
Interesting news story coming out of UK. Face masks. So the growth of people using face masks has prompted the London police to consider pausing its rollout on facial recognition cameras.
Really?
Because, first off, facial recognition cameras have been shown to not be super accurate.
But didn't I read somewhere just recently that there is some technology that's finding workarounds on wearing masks?
Yes, there is some facial AI technology that can kind of look beyond the mask. We've even talked about, I think in a show we did last year, we talked about technology. We can take a picture of someone's back of their head to figure out what the front of the head looks like.
I wonder what that would make my front of my head look like. That would be pretty funny, actually.
So, I mean, yes, there is technology, but obviously the best case scenario is here's your face uncovered.
On this topic, I read a tweet the other day where the person says, never in my wildest dreams did I ever think I would be able to walk into a bank wearing a hat, sunglasses, and wearing a mask and not being arrested. Right? When you think about it, I mean, that one made me giggle. It was like, yeah, post-COVID, if somebody was to walk into a bank like that, bad things would happen, right? But today, not so much.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how that progresses after COVID and there's a vaccine and whatnot.
And then weren't you just sharing with me as well that in the United States, those who in the gun open carry things, they're kind of...
I've seen some TikToks from some gun advocates talking about how in some places where wearing a mask and having an open carry weapon can be a felony. So it's an argument in towards the anti-mask group.
So in the states that have open carry laws, prior to COVID-19, if you wore a mask and you had a gun, you could be arrested, right?
According to some TikToks, I'm not a U.S. legal scholar, but from some TikToks I've seen from some open carry advocates.
And everything on TikToks is true, right? So what they're saying is, well, hold on a second here. Well, that's why I'm not going to wear a mask, because you want me to commit a criminal offense, so I'm not going to wear my mask.
Well, yeah, because it's in the Constitution too.
Oh my God! Like, this is just...
I don't know. It's COVID's bringing up a lot of interesting questions in terms of legalities around things.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. I think I'll try walking into my bank with a baseball hat, sunglasses, and my mask on.
Actually, I've seen some places, some TikToks, where in some places that require customers.
It sounds like you watch TikTok a lot.
Sometimes.
Okay.
Where some stores are requiring customers to wear masks. I've seen some TikToks, people just put a mask on top of their head, just like around here. It's like, I'm wearing a mask. And they just walk in.
I saw one guy on TikTok, I'm going to admit I watch it too, where he went into a store, he didn't have a mask with him, so he went back into his car, took his underwear off, put his underwear over his head so he could look out through the two holes, and they let him in.
Now, do you think like businesses that require masks, that they should provide masks to the customers?
Oh, that's a tough one. That's a really tough question. My answer is yes, but how can they afford that, right? And I mean,
what if, like, let's say government buildings require?
Well, but there are businesses, like there's restaurants that say that if you come in here not wearing a shirt, you're not going to serve. Well, what happens if I get to the door and I don't have a shirt on? Is the store required to give me a shirt? I don't think so, right? Like, if you want to come into my establishment, these are the rules, because the establishment is private, right? It's private property. So you do not have a right to come onto my property unless I give you the right to do so through invitation. But I can withhold that invitation by saying, sorry, you're not allowed in my store because you're not following
assuming you're not
my policy.
violating human rights.
Well,
because there is an argument now of people walking in public with breasts, people with prominent breasts, right?
Right. But
being a human right.
Yeah, but human rights, I mean, I can still deny you access onto my property if it's in violation of human rights. It's just that you can now go after me for a violation of those criminal rights. But I still have the right to deny you access until such time as the court says, well, no, in fact, you have to let him in, right?
Obviously you can't block someone with a certain skin color. Obviously.
Right. Well, no, you could.
I guess you could, but obviously you get sued.
Absolutely, you would.
So hard.
I'm not saying we endorse that, but see, that's what's interesting, right? What's interesting is that as a property owner, I have the right, except in exigent circumstances for emergencies, to deny access onto my property to anybody.
Yes.
Right? And I have the right to defend that right. Even here in Canada, I've got the right to defend that right. But if you deny somebody based upon some kind of a rights, criminal code violation, whatever, well, then there is some form of judicial consequences to actions that you can follow through. But I mean, these people right now who are going to Costco right now and demanding to go in even though they don't have a mask, I'm sorry, Costco is private property, and if you're not following our rules, you're not getting in. And if you don't like it, too bad, right? And if you're the type of person who now, and I've seen this on TikToks and on other streams right now, where people are being denied. So the people who are being denied are looking at the poor worker who's just following policy and procedure and going, I even saw
I've
one.
Seen those too, yeah.
I even saw one where this person spat on the individual. Like,
I've actually seen some lawyers on TikTok talking about if you have it and you're spreading it,
here's what's
that
interesting.
is ground for lawsuit as well.
Well, here's what's interesting, right? Let's play this through.
Okay.
I'm kind of thinking like you sometimes, which is scary. I'm a worker working at the front door, denying access. Somebody starts coughing in my face. Technically, that's an assault. So if the person goes and walks away, can I hit them? No, I don't think so, because now the crime is over, right? Get their license plate number, give it to the police. If they've got a video, that's a video proof. But what if the person's still standing in front of me going, coughing on me? Do I have the right to self-defense? My argument is, I think you do. I think you do, because...
This is not legal advice, by the way.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Make that clear.
No.
This is from experience of law enforcement.
From law enforcement, right? From enforcing the law, right? But if somebody is standing in front of me because of COVID, and because we know that COVID does have the potential to cause death or serious injury, then I have the right to protect myself, right? So if somebody's standing in front of me purposely coughing in my face, even if I'm wearing a mask, because unless I'm wearing a full face shield that's protecting my eyes and that kind of stuff, the droplets can still get into my eyes. Like, I personally, if somebody's standing in front of me, not touching me, but going coughing on me within 6 feet, right? That range there, I think I have the right to defend myself if they're continuing to do it. Now, if they stop and walk away, it's over now, right? That there's no such thing as catch up when it comes to self-defense, right? And there's no such thing as catch up. And when I say catch up, I don't mean the stuff you put on.
Payback.
Yeah, I don't mean the stuff you put on fries, right? Yeah. There's no such thing as catching up because somebody did something to you. So just some interesting, because you're right. I think COVID has really kind of changed the equation of some laws that were pretty in place, and now people are going, but what about this? What about that? Right? Again, I'm not giving legal advice, but I'm just saying that I think personally, from enforcing the law, that if I got a person standing in front of me who's coughing on me purposely, and I can't walk away, I can't talk my way out of that situation, because that's the first thing I would always say, like, walk and talk your way out, right? But if this person's continually hounding you and coughing on you, that's an assault in my opinion, and I've got the right to defend myself, and then I'll let the courts make a decision. Yeah. Right? So.
Let us know in the comments below on these very interesting thought experiments that we're having right now.
Yeah, thought experiments. That's a good one. Thought experiments.
Yeah, so
we should do a show on that.
We should.
Thought experiments. What if? The what if thought experiment. Whatever. Anyway, what's next?
Security experts found 7 flaws in UK's contact tracing app. So we've been talking about this kind of in the last couple of shows on how the UK is planning on developing their own, and they have developed their own contact tracing app.
Alberta's done it.
Yeah. So it was open. It was put up for researchers to do an analysis of, and a couple security researchers have found about 7 vulnerabilities in the contact tracing app, which here's a quote from the article. The vulnerabilities include one which could allow hackers to intercept notifications and either block them or send out bogus ones telling that they've come in contact with someone who was carrying COVID-19.
Remember, that's what we said on the one show. We said, what if we were to put, you found one online where this guy for the GPS, he put all these old phones, turned on the GPS and was putting around in a pull cart to fool Google Maps or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Remember, we said, well, what's to stop people from doing this, where all of a sudden they can start spoofing to make communities think that COVID is now a huge outbreak in their community, thus weaponizing it?
Yeah. So we'll see where this goes from here.
Like, I could see how state actors could possibly use that to their advantage too, right?
So
if you want to suppress a vote, why not flood a community with bogus COVID alerts that it's all over the place right now to kind of, to suppress voting?
Potentially.
Just saying.
So the UK has publicly talked about how they're kind of rejecting Apple's and Google combined.
So what's the difference between the two then?
Well, so in the Apple-Google API COVID contact tracing platform, it's a uncentralized or decentralized approach, meaning all the data between the phones is kept between the phones, and the processing of that data is done on the phone.
Gotcha.
Which means
that's what they call sandboxing, right?
Yeah, in a way. It's so Apple Google. It is a what is it? It is a what is it called here? It's the decentralized app approach, where in the UK's approach, it is a centralized app approach, meaning all the data for the contacts is being sent back to a government central server where it's all being analyzed.
Of the two, I would never download either on my phone. I'm just too suspicious of security. But of the two, I prefer the Apple Google approach rather than the Great Britain government approach.
Yeah. Well, there's at least 7 vulnerabilities now.
Yeah, I think they're going to find vulnerability. When you rush the market on these things, there's going to be 0 days in them, and I think even the Apple Google one, I'm sure they're doing their due diligence, but I bet you there's going to be a bunch of things going on there as well. And again, I just don't think...
At least the Apple Google one, you have to assume there's internal competition.
Yeah.
Because let's say if Google doesn't function or isn't doing their part, you can expect Apple to be like, Google over here is not doing the part.
So do you think they arm wrestled to see who was going to go first in their advertising, where it was Apple and then Google, right? Well, how come it wasn't Google before Apple? I wonder if they arm wrestled and whoever won, their name could go first, right?
It's interesting, yeah. Yeah, we talked. I think we talked about it on our last show and how the PDF rollout of the announcement and how you see the Apple logo and Google logo beside each other on the same professional document.
I know.
You don't see that very often in the public.
They arm wrestled for it. They arm wrestled.
Data breach with Home Chef, which is
that food delivery?
It's one of those pre-prepped meal food delivery services.
Yeah.
So
what's going on?
There was a data breach of about 8 million users.
8 million?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So the data that was compromised includes email addresses, names, phone numbers, encrypted passwords, we'll talk about that, and the last 4 digits of credit card numbers.
Yeah.
And other information in regards to frequency of deliveries and mailing addresses may have also been compromised.
So did they do a good public release on this, or what?
I'm not entirely sure. So this is all a part of a larger data breach that happened a couple weeks ago.
Right.
And this is just one of the companies who were involved in that.
Right. There were other companies?
There are other companies involved, smaller ones, but this is more of a North American kind of announcement one.
Right.
So what happened here is if you go into the company's FAQ about what was compromised, which is there on the corner there, there's no information talking about from the company of how many account users were made vulnerable.
But you just said there was 8 million.
Yeah, in the news reports and the data breach, it's 8 million.
Okay, but they didn't want to say 8 million.
No.
Oh.
What's also interesting is to determine exactly what the encryption was, there is no details on what the encryption was.
Because that's important, right? Because although people say things are encrypted, there's a variety of different encryption types, and some can be easily unhashed compared to others, right?
Yes. I would have liked to seen in their announcement from my communications background is looking at encrypted passwords, bracket, what kind of encryption do they use? Because we may not know what encryption was used in the data breach, but certainly the company knows what encryption they use.
Yeah, I think I remember I was on a course when I was with the police department on communications when I worked with the Canadian Police Research Center. And one of the things that the communications consultant said to us is that if you make a mistake, own it. Just be open and honest about it, because it's gonna be far less damaging than trying to massage it, right? To make it look a little better than what it is. So what I hear you saying from a communication standpoint, just be open and transparent about what happened.
Put the number, how many people were affected, put what kind of encryption you use, because from a security researcher perspective now I'm questioning, is it a weak encryption? Is it a strong encryption? What encryption method was used? Just
all good points.
Communicate that, because if you're not communicating you have strong encryption, why would you not put that there? Which makes me then think,
because they're afraid of being sued, they're afraid of losing market share. I mean, all these kind of things that they're probably the corporate people upstairs are thinking about. And so they're trying to insulate themselves as best
how
they
to
can.
communicate the least amount of information. Another interesting kind of breach or vulnerability. So Qnap devices, which are a very popular sort of data management.
What is a Qnap? Is it like a server? Or
it's like a server. It's a centralized network attached storage device. So families use it to hold downloaded videos, music, pictures, videos, backing up their computers. So this is used in families a lot. These are used in small businesses a lot.
Gotcha. So what happened?
So this is kind of the proper way how to kind of do things. So a researcher found that there was a bug last year, and they reported it to Qnap, and they reported it in June. And then Qnap took the information, they analyzed the information, and they built a fix. And they released the fix in an update in November 2019. And now they're announcing that here's the problem. Downside is that if you haven't updated your device, or you haven't set automatic updates on, your device could then be potentially vulnerable, meaning combining all these bugs together could allow a kind of takeover of the device, which you'd be using that to store your pictures, videos, music, your backups. So generally, if you have a device like this, especially if you have a Qnap device, just make sure it's updated to the latest version so that you are protected against any kind of vulnerability.
So what I just heard you say is it appears they've done their due diligence, right? Somebody brought it to their attention. I hope that person won a bounty for it, right?
Yeah.
And then they went about notificating and fixing the problem.
Yes.
Right. I mean, they did their due diligence, right? It's all about, we had a problem, own it. Yeah. Right? Own it and deal with it, right? And it appears that that's what they did. I mean, companies like that, I think, are going to flourish way more than those companies who try to massage and try to under-report what has happened. So, just a thought.
Interesting.
Ooh, what's this one about? Discord.
Sort of.
What is Discord?
Discord's a very common communications platform. You can do audio communication or text-based communication. Very popular, mostly popular among gaming community. Not just gaming, but it has a very growth central beginning in gaming.
Did you get me a Discord account?
I don't think you have one.
No.
So what happened here is...
I have a Steam account.
You do, yes, you are playing games on Steam.
Oh, yeah.
So what's happening here...
You gave it to me.
I did.
You did. You gave it to me as a birthday gift.
Yeah. What's happening here is... Yes?
I'm playing World of Warships on it.
Anything else?
No, just saying.
All right. So, we're a little train of thought. Okay, so...
It's called a brain fart, dude.
Yeah. So threat actors, so here's a quote from the article. So threat actors distribute a Trojan, so basically a virus, on Discord where they pretend to be either a game cheat, a hacking tool, or some kind of copyrighted material software.
Oh, fishing we will go. Fishing
This is certainly not specific to Discord. Like this happens in every platform I can think of. But what's unique about this particular sort of variant of this virus is once someone downloads something malicious, what the virus does to the person's computer is it actually changes the code in the official Discord app. And it's using it and it turns it into a malicious app where they are then harvesting login credentials and sensitive information because they've changed the code in the app itself.
So the app becomes like a keystroke logger?
Yeah, kind of.
Wow. That's pretty ingenious.
That's actually a very smart way, because usually how we see these things happening is a hacker creates a fake separate, Discord for example, a fake separate Discord app that you download independently, because that's the bad version. What these black hat hackers have done is they've actually changed the code in the official one to make it a bad one, which makes it then potentially harder to detect.
Yeah.
That's a very... Yeah, moral of this story is don't download hacking tools, cheats, and copyrighted material because those things are just plentiful, full of malicious software.
Or free loot boxes, or anything that's got free on it that's maybe outside. Hey, I forgot to put my phone on vibrate, right? Silent. You got to be very careful, right? Because usually what we say to people is go to the reputable source and download it. But what I just heard you say is, this is the official download, right?
Sorry. What I should subgroups in Discord. So think of Discord like it's like a Facebook group.
It's like a Reddit group.
Like a Reddit group. It's a platform that people can. So because it's not the platform itself that's the problem. It's bad actors in the platform communicating bad things.
Yeah, it's not the app. It's how people use it.
Precisely.
There you go.
So I don't want people going out thinking, oh, Discord's a bad, terrible app. And it's not. It's just someone's chosen to use this app and the communication platform within the app to communicate bad things.
For sure. Yeah, totally get it. Pretty ingenious, though, when you think about it. The way the black hatters have used this one to their advantage.
Yeah.
For sure. Good show.
Yeah.
Quick, dirty, again. Bing, bang, bong. Interesting. Some of the, it would be kind of interesting to do a show on higher thoughts around COVID and its effects on where we are today, right? Like the law is a good example, and some of the other things that we talked about a little bit earlier, right? Just to kind of synergize a little bit specifically to some of these issues. So, good show.
Yeah,
good show.
Really good.
Looking forward to next week's.
Yeah, check out our webinars that we are doing this week. We have one going on, well, I guess when this video is up tonight.
Yep.
And then we have another one later this week. And check back to our website, thewhitehatter.ca, where we'll keep updating webinars coming up in the following months.
And on our YouTube channel, when you go here to have a look at this one when it's posted, make sure you hit that subscribe button, right? Hit that subscribe button.
Thank you. We're really trying to grow our channel as a big main communications platform for the White Hatter. So the more followers and subscribers we have will just benefit us, and we can hopefully do more of these shows.
Yeah, I love doing these shows. So on behalf of myself, I'm Darren.
Brandon, thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.
See ya. Bye.